Michelle Obama is a man.
Michelle?
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
Not good. Not good at all. To have this Josh Hogan on the White House lawn calling Michelle Obama a man. It's funny. I get it. Completely inappropriate. The whole event, inappropriate. I like President Trump, but we just keep throwing away standards. We keep falling for the bait. Everything we do is based on we're sticking it to the liberals. And the biggest liberal icon is Barack and Michelle Obama. And I get it. You're sitting there, Joe Biden and these guys, they had the gays and transgenders and all that at the White House, and that's worse. You're right, but you don't stoop to their level. Your whole worldview can't be based on this bothers this group, so let's do it. If he wants to do that in Las Vegas, that's fine. But at the White House, no dice.
Calling Michelle Obama, a former first lady, a man on live TV on the White House lawn is so insanely fucking disrespectful.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
This is not liberal snowflake propaganda. There is a big difference between what this UFC fighter did and a comedian telling an offensive joke. You go to a comedy show understanding that the boundaries are going to be pushed. That is literally their job. In the words of the great late Patrice O'Neal, half the room should be in utter disgust, shock, and fucking hating your guts, and the other half should be dying of laughter. And if this was a regular UFC fight in like Abu Dhabi or some bullshit and he got on the mic and said that, whatever. He's just rage baiting, trying to be controversial, you know, trying to be put on the next title card by Mr. Daddy Dana White. But you were on the White House lawn in an event that was already publicly ostracized because it feels like a circus act, but y'all are saying it represents freedom and everything that's good about America. Okay, cool. They were great fights, yes. But you're on the White House lawn and then you publicly insult a former first lady from 2 administrations ago? For fucking what? Roles reversed. What if the NBA in 8 years and 2 administrations hosts an NBA game on the White House lawn and Victor Wembanyama gets on the mic and he says, yeah, well, Melania Trump, she's a dumb cow. That'd be fucked up.
Michelle Obama is a man. That's the slur that one of Donald Trump's UFC fighters yelled out last night on nationwide television from the White House with Trump watching. Let me show you the video of Josh Hockett and then we're going to talk about it.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
Now, let me give you that in context. The larger thing he said was, shout out to Trump for having the balls to put some shit like this on. There's only one person more incredible than the Incredible Hulk, and that's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Because, you know, nothing says Jesus Christ likes putting out racist tropes and sexist tropes about women. Let's have a chat about Michelle Obama. I got to meet Michelle Obama a couple times at the White House. I was lucky enough to be invited to the White House Christmas party. Michelle Obama is a beautiful woman in person, stunningly pretty woman, but more importantly and more impressively, her persona, her energy. There are certain, I've lived in Washington for 40 years pretty much, and have worked with some of the most important people in town. I've certainly met some of the most important people in town. I've met multiple presidents, and the most powerful people in town, I would say, have almost an aura about them. They project power, they project energy. They almost have like a 10-foot bubble around them that you don't even want to enter because you're like, oh my God, it's them, right? Michelle is like that. We go through the receiving line at the White House. Obama and Michelle are there. And you go up to say hi at the Christmas party and you get a photo with them. And President Obama, literally twice, 2 or 3 times I've been there. President Obama is like, 3 times I've been there. I was like, hi, nice to meet you. Couldn't care less, right? I mean, dead fish. I love the man, but dead fish. Michelle, hey, how are you? Oh my God, you're from Chicago. Where are you from? Oh my God, that's so great. Every freaking, and you only get like 3 to 5 seconds to talk to them. It's nothing. Your world opens up when you talk to Michelle Obama. It is like you're connecting with her. I mean, it is hard to explain. It is a skill in politics. She doesn't want to run for president, doesn't want to run for politics. It is a skill in politics to connect with people like that. The most, again, brief meeting with her 3 times. The most sincere, nicest, kind, energetic, soulful, empathetic human being you will ever meet, and actually a very gorgeous woman in person as well. So the next time you hear some of these jerks slam Michelle Obama, keep in mind, brother, the polls. 16% of the American people think it was appropriate for Trump to hold that event at the White House last night. Only 30% of Republicans think it was appropriate. So the next time you hear these guys run around and say how, oh, you don't understand America, why they wanted to have a fight at the White House with big lights and planes and explosions. Yeah. Most Republicans didn't like it either, and pretty much no Americans liked it. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining.
Shout out to Trump for having the balls to put some shit like this on. And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
I mean, the Michelle Obama is a man just ruins everything.
I thought to myself, memo to self, who is this fucking idiot? And make sure that no one I ever work with or invest in ever gets near this idiot.
It's like all of this is happening because for so long they felt like the left just said, you're trash, right? Like you're white trash. This is redneck stuff. Like you're a bunch of racists. Couldn't stand having a black president. And then this comes out and you're like, I actually didn't think it before. But right now, I think that you're absolute trash.
Welcome to the Freedom Room. In today's video, we'll be taking a closer look at the controversy surrounding the UFC fighter Josh Hawkins after his post-fight remarks about former First Lady Michelle Obama sparked widespread backlash. The incident has drawn strong reactions from fans, commentators, and people within the UFC, leading to debates about whether his comments crossed the line. Watch the following clips carefully, and once they are over, we'll come back to break everything down and share some commentary.
Last night, this dude, Josh Hawkins, he won his heavyweight cage fight at the White House. And in this post-cage fight interview with podcaster Joe Rogan, this dude decides to take his 30 seconds of fame and yell into the mic. I hate to repeat this, but I'm going to do it because you need to hear it. Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? This is a calculated moment meant to rivet, shock, and stir up controversy. It is designed to get this dude's name into all the headlines, which it did. So let's talk for a minute about why that sentence holds so much impact. It's actually doing three jobs at the same time. First off, it's racist. That whole black woman is mannish thing, that's as old as time, and it's a load of crap. It's transphobic because, according to that guy, the worst thing you can say about a woman is that she looks like a man. And finally, it is misogynistic because it was never intended to be only about Michelle Obama. The message is to every woman watching. If you become too powerful, too tall, too good, too impactful, we're going to bring you down. The UFC fight was enough to get my blood boiling, happening on the White House lawn. But this sends everything just over the edge. Just think for a minute about all the young boys and young men watching this and getting empowered and learning how to talk about and how to treat women from this buffoon. And then think about all the young girls and young women watching it who are being trained to make themselves smaller, quieter, less impactful, so they don't piss off buffoons like that. I'm Kristen Bear. I'm an author. I write about pissed off women. This kind of thing needs to be talked about out loud again and again. Because if we don't, they get the power. They keep the power. So if, like me, this is one of the million things the patriarchy does to piss us off, follow along. There's lots more.
Sarah, why is it so hard for Trump to say that this was wrong when it was obviously offensive and wrong, and people who may share his politics are very clearly saying such?
I think expecting Trump to say or do the right thing is useless and disappointing. Look, this is the guy who posted a racist meme of the Obamas depicted as monkeys. This is a guy who posts memes depicting himself as Jesus Christ. There's no decency or decorum in this White House. And when the White House was asked for comment, they also praised the performer, or praise the performance of the fighter. They didn't comment on it. They had every opportunity to condemn it. And yes, it's nice hearing folks like Dave Portnoy and Dana White come out and denounce this attack. But it shouldn't take a pressure campaign from people on the right to get the president to do the right thing. You should immediately condemn something like this. Something really interesting, though, is that we have seen Trump willing to condemn conspiracy theories like this. He did it with President Macron of France and his first lady, his wife, when she faced similar accusations of being a man. And Candace Owens saying it. President Trump came out and said that that wasn't true and condemned it. But then he can't do the same thing for Michelle Obama. Makes you wonder what's the difference between those two women in his eyes. Think that it is really pathetic of this administration, and it's really pathetic of that White House spokesperson. As a former deputy press secretary myself, I would be embarrassed to have my name on a remark like that, praising the performance of the fighter. I mean, come on, it's pathetic. She has not been in office, or her husband has not been in office, and she has not been the first lady for nearly a decade, and yet she continues to live rent-free in these losers' heads.
After this UFC fighter said what he said about Michelle Obama, how Donald Trump is receiving backlash and people are asking him to denounce this fighter. They're even claiming that Donald Trump cracked a half smile when that UFC fighter said what he said. You are the president of the United States. This is what he chose to do in celebration of America's 250th anniversary. Even the 4,000 people that was in attendance, half of them didn't agree with what he said. It makes you wonder, did Doze and Donnie put him up to this? Because it was definitely racism and sexism showed on that stage. I guess you gotta ask yourself, how does she come back from that?
Very clear, strong men, men who are truly role models, don't need to put down women to make themselves feel powerful. People who are truly strong lift others up. People who are truly powerful bring others together.
They said the same thing about Venus and Serena. Every time a black woman becomes something, others, some people from that side try to take a shot at them. It's been going on. I mean, when is it going to be enough?
For a long time, and the roots are in slavery, black women have been slurred and made to feel that they were unattractive, made to feel that they were masculine, made to feel that they didn't have the femininity that a white woman would have. And so there's this intersectionality between racism and sexism that was on full display at the White House. The crowd laughed at the statement, and the President of the United States smirked, and never addressed what was said. That is beneath the dignity of the office of the President of the United States, and it's beneath the dignity of the American people.
Black women are the most underprotected, underpraised, unrespected women in this society. It was disappointing by a dude who, if he has a brain, it's not functioning at a high capacity in Josh Hogan. How in the world do you win your event and the first thing you want to go do is disparage somebody in Michelle Obama who's not even thinking about you? All the work, training, exercising, restriction of your body that you have to put in to win your event. And instead of celebrating, shouting out your loved ones, maybe your significant other, maybe your kids, maybe your deity, whoever you worship, you want to waste 15 seconds of our time and your time to disparage a Princeton grad, followed by a Harvard Law grad, followed by the most educated or top two most educated first ladies in the history of our country. Why would you feel the need to do that in this moment?
From the clips, you can see that the controversy centers on Josh Hawkins' comments during his post-fight interview and the reactions that followed. Some people believe he was trying to get attention, while others feel his remarks were disrespectful and unnecessary. You also hear different opinions about whether the criticisms he received were justified and what consequences, if any, should follow. What do you think? Did he go too far, or do you think people are overreacting? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd really like to hear your perspective. For now, let's continue watching a few more clips, and after that, we'll come back for more commentary. Thank you. Stay tuned.
I will never understand the obsession that some of these people have with the Obamas. Baby, it is going on almost 10 years since they have left the White House. And that UFC fighter on the White House lawn, where our former First Lady used to reside, at a so-called 250 freedom celebration, yells out, "She's a man." The disrespect that these people have towards the Obamas is sickening. It's disgusting. And you think this administration is going to denounce that that man should not have said that? Do you think that they are going to apologize to the Obamas? No, they're not. Because this is a part of their agenda to spread hate. I blame every single person who organized this. They knew what they were doing, as in that Dana White man, Trump, and whomever else organized this. I'm sure they handpicked those men to be a part of that event. And you use your platform to say something like that. This country is a total embarrassment right now. It's a total embarrassment. And how can we move forward as a country under this administration when all they do is push hate? It's disgusting.
Oh, it gets worse. Remember that UFC fighter who called Michelle Obama a man? Well, now he is saying that it was a compliment. A compliment? That's the defense? That's your excuse? That's what they came up with? He said it at Trump's birthday party, remember, on the White House lawn in front of the president, in front of Joe Rogan at that stupid UFC event? Then he handed Trump a chain right after the fight. And now we're supposed to believe calling Michelle Obama a man was somehow a sign of respect? Come on, y'all. That's insulting everybody's intelligence. How about, I'm sorry, I write about that story and 6 others in today's Lucky Lemon 7 newsletter on Substack. Go check it out. The link is in bio.
You dropped the Michelle Obama line, and I'm sitting there thinking like, why? Why did we have to go there? You're not going to fight with Michelle Obama. This is not a fight. This is not a planting of a seed like Alex Perry.
I thought I was giving her a compliment.
I don't think anyone viewed it as such.
Michelle Obama being a man that's like, she knows how to deal with adversity. You know, she knows how to work hard like a man. You know, when the times get tough. You know, the
why does that come to mind in that moment? Like, you just got this massive win of all the things you can say. Why even go there?
I thought it was a perfect opportunity to, you know, show the world how great this country is with the freedom of speech. You know, you go somewhere and you say something like that and you die, you know. And I'm not suicidal, by the way. There's a certain side that pokes at another side, and there's no outrage there, and so I thought it was a perfect time to take a jab.
Do you regret saying it?
Oh, never. That's one thing about my career. I'm never gonna, you know. Man, I think I was watching a Cejudo video, and he was like, "That's one thing I regret is like all the stuff I did." Or you hear people backtrack, even the Strickland post-fight speech where he was like, "I'm trying to sell the fight, and I don't mean the things I say." I mean, you'll never hear me backtrack from what I say.
This was just a harmless joke. Don't make a big deal out of it, okay? I admit that saying it at the White House was a bit disrespectful, but why is everyone suddenly accusing me of racism and personal attacks? Every time I win a match, or even at other times I make jokes like this, it's part of my way of speaking, nothing serious. It's just that this time, the target of the joke happened to be Michelle Obama, and suddenly everyone started reacting strongly and criticizing me. People are really fixating on every word I said, even digging up things I said in earlier matches and using them as evidence against me. I honestly don't understand why something that was meant to be a light, irrelevant joke can turn into such a huge controversy. I was just trying to lighten the mood and be funny, but it feels like everything I say is being taken to the extreme. I can accept any consequences, and I'm willing to apologize if necessary. But I just want to ask one thing. When did the United States start caring so much about so-called racial politics and reading everything in the worst possible way?
And when Michelle Obama files a defamation lawsuit, just like the First Lady of France filed a defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens, I don't want to hear not a single complaint, none. Now, in case you missed it, this UFC fighter won his fight at the White House last night, which is already a sentence I never thought I would say, and then he got on stage and said this.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
Matter of fact, my crew, make sure y'all screen record that. Save it, download it, put it on a flash drive. The Obamas might need it for discovery, because let's say Michelle Obama wakes up one morning and chooses violence. Legal violence, that is. She files a lawsuit and says, I'm not a man. You knew I wasn't a man. You said it publicly anyway, and now millions of people are repeating it. Congratulations, we have checked several boxes on our defamation worksheet. Now, am I saying she would win the lawsuit? I have no idea. I've been told y'all, my name is not Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. Do I think a case like that could survive a motion to dismiss and make his life extremely expensive for a while? Why, yes. Yes, I do. And I'm not saying that this UFC fighter is broke. I'm sure he's doing very well financially. I don't know if he has Michelle and Barack Obama money. You understand that? Because I know you thought you were being funny with that dusty, crusty, been sitting in the attic since 2008 joke. But what happens if Michelle Obama wants to be hilarious? What happens if she decides that the punchline to the joke is your legal fees? Good luck.
But after the fight, he says, while Joe Rogan is holding the microphone, Michelle Obama is a man. And a lot of people were stunned by this, shocked by this. Other people felt as though it should have been condemned right away, which it should have. You have President Trump sitting right there. You got Dana White sitting right there, and you've got Joe Rogan holding the microphone. He doesn't say anything either. Now, after this, a lot of people have come out and said, how dare he do that? Me included. That's not the time and place. If you're celebrating the unity of the United States of America, if you're celebrating 250 years, if that's the kind of disrespect and vitriol you're going to bring to the table, that's disgusting. That's repulsive behavior. And he has since come out today and said, hey, I'm not here to make any friends. Obviously, he wants clicks, he wants views. And the White House did not directly comment on this. They just said he had a great fight. But Dana White, who is the leader of the UFC, did come out and say this is nonsense, which it is. But here's what the story should be. This guy wrestled in high school, phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wrestler. Then he goes, walks on at Fresno State to the football team. He's already wrestling at Fresno State, All-American. Walks onto the football team, makes the football team. Tremendous player. Then he goes and makes the roster for the San Francisco 49ers. So think about this. Imagine if this happened to a kid in the Central Texas area. You're talking local high school, UT Austin, you wrestle, you play football, and then you're going to go play for the Dallas Cowboys. Isn't that a great story? Shouldn't that be the story? But instead, because of this attention economy and because of what we've been rewarding these people for clicks and views, Josh Hokett comes out and says something as disgusting.
Now that you have seen the clips, you have a better understanding of why this incident has become such a widely discussed topic. The conversation isn't only about one statement, it also raises questions about public behavior, accountability, and how people choose to use their platform. We would love to know where you stand on this issue, so join the discussion in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the Freedom Room, give this video a thumb up, share it with your family and friends, and turn on the notification.
How low can they go? Can they go down low all the way to the floor? How low can they go? Can they bring it to the top? No, they can't. Okay, the bottom is their ceiling. And people like Josh Hokett remind us of that every chance they get. See, this event was supposed to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Okay, the Declaration of Independence asserts that all people are created equal and possess unalienable rights, okay, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This was a reminder that Josh Hokett and people like Josh Hokett don't look at black people as equal, okay?
The financial backing of this event became even more disturbing, even more gross. After the winner of one of the fights, Josh Hokett, made this disgusting comment following his win. I would prefer to ignore this, and I did yesterday. But for this to be broadcast from the White House with all these corporations sponsoring it on a day supposedly celebrating our country and patriotism, this has to be called out and covered.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
Importantly, Joe Rogan, in an inexplicably bizarre short tie, says nothing. Nothing. Obviously not someone who can think on his feet. It's a despicable thing to say about the former First Lady of our country, and yet something that has been met with silence from Donald Trump, from Joe Rogan there, who was holding the microphone, literally holding it, could have pulled it away, could have said that's too far, could have said no, she's not. It's been met with silence from everyone who attended. It's been met in silence from all the high-ranking people who were there, from all the successful companies that lots of people support by buying their products. Those companies sponsored the event, and those companies' leaders have said nothing about the guy that won the fight, screaming Michelle Obama is a man. Someone did push back, and I'll admit I was somewhat surprised by who it was. UFC's CEO, friend of Donald Trump, Dana White, denounced that comment. He said, quote, "I understand that the Obamas are public figures, but I'm completely against saying nasty and false things about people's families. Everyone knows my position on free speech, but I hate that kind of nonsense," end quote. So, for once, good for that statement from that person. But it makes it all the more stunning that none of the companies have said anything. And that lack of condemning those comments, the lack of outrage from anyone else, speaks volumes.
What many thought would be just another viral controversy quickly turned into something much bigger. Less than 12 hours after Josh Hokate called Michelle Obama a man, she responded with 3 major actions that many viewed as a determined effort to hold him accountable. First, Michelle Obama filed a defamation lawsuit against Hokate, arguing that the statement was not only offensive, but also promoted harmful stereotypes and showed disrespect toward black women. She quickly assembled a legal team and moved ahead with federal legal action, arguing that such remarks could damage her reputation and public standing. Second, she sought to freeze Hokate's earnings from UFC Freedom 250, including his fight purse and performance bonuses, while also pursuing additional damages over the alleged harm caused to her public image. Lastly, Michelle Obama stated that if she receives any compensation, the funds would be donated through the Obama Foundation to support programs benefiting black women. The money would help provide mental health care. What do you think about this case? Do you support Michelle Obama's decision to take legal action?
After this UFC fighter said what he said about Michelle Obama,
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
how Donald Trump is receiving backlash and people are asking him to denounce this fighter. They even claiming that Donald Trump cracked a half smile when that UFC fighter said what he said. You are the president of the United States. This is what he chose to do in celebration of America's 250th anniversary. Even the 4,000 people that was in attendance, half of them didn't agree with what he said. It makes you wonder, did Doze and Donnie put him up to this? Because it was definitely racism and sexism showed on that stage. I guess you gotta ask yourself, how does she come back from that?
Very clear, strong men, men who are truly role models, don't need to put down women to make themselves feel powerful. People who are truly strong lift others up. People who are truly powerful bring others together.
Now that you have seen the clips, you have a better understanding of why this incident has become such a widely discussed topic. The conversation isn't only about one statement, it also raises questions about public behavior, accountability, and how people choose to use their platform. We would love to know where you stand on this issue, so join the discussion in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the Freedom Room, give this video a thumb up, share it with your family and friends, and turn on the notification